That's because I pressed live.
I like that music.
That's us, brother.
Yeah, that's Free Man. Written 30 years ago. Still relevant today. Timeless lyrics, man.
Recreate that drum beat and send it to me as a gift.
There you go. What's up there, boys and girls? I'm Chris, he's Mike. This is the Chris and Mike Show, coming to you live on Twitch and the YouTube. And we have as our very special guest, rock and roll star, chart climbing, former rap producer, artist extraordinaire, Lemoyne Alexander. Welcome.
New single literally just dropped yesterday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So drop the information on the single, Lemoyne.
Yeah, tell us all about it.
Did he freeze now? Are we in a freezing world? Can you hear him?
Can you still hear us, Lemoyne?
What is up with the internet gods today? This is that cable splice in the Pacific Ocean deal messing with us. It's got to be.
Oh, he can still hear the music.
What the hell? See, I have nothing that tells me to shut the music off.
I can't hear the music.
Yeah. Is it still okay? What about now? Can you hear music now, Lemoyne? Is it done?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Dude, what the hell is going on with this internet today?
I could tell you were still jamming out. Him and I couldn't hear the music anymore. I said, I think he can still hear the music.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something weird going on. Mike alluded to it, that there was a internet cable in the ocean was severed. Some kind of fiber. So, all kinds of crazy shit's going on today, apparently.
You can hear us now, though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right, cool. Yeah. So what I had asked you before you couldn't hear me was let's talk about the single, drop the knowledge, so people that are joining us that may not know you, even though you're the most watched episode we have on our YouTube channel.
Sure.
Talk about the new single, where they can find it, what's coming up for you in the next month or so as far as shows and stuff like that's concerned. Then we'll just dive into a conversation like always.
Sure. The next single, actually, it just dropped like 24 hours ago. It's called Claustrophobia.
Okay.
And
right.
So far it's
like
doing
that
really
song.
well. And
Yeah.
everybody likes it. I'm excited about it. And it's one of those songs that personal, like like insecurity.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
I have shows coming up scheduled. The first one is New Year's. I'm going to be in Chicago on New Year's Eve performing.
Okay.
This is going to be like a party. I mean, I'm going to be giving away merchandise, like stuff like this here. My microphones.
Oh, right on.
Awesome.
Yeah. And lots of posters and free stuff that you get when you come to my show. It's going to be more like a party than a concert, because we're going to have fun that night.
Cool.
And then I have some scheduled shows in January, February, going into 2026 is going to be really busy for me.
Cool. You coming to Arizona?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
I have
Good. Let
family
me know
out
when
there, and I can't
Cool.
wait to get there.
Let me know because last time you came out, I think it was some weird weekend where we couldn't connect. So give me a heads up when you're coming for the show.
I'm coming out there to do a show. When I come out there,
yeah. Cool. Right on. I'll grab the wife. We'll come join the crowd, and
please. I'm gonna telling him, I'm gonna grab him and take him on stage with me.
There you go. Yeah, I'm in Arizona, so Nikki's got this thing about New Year's Eve. Whatever we do on New Year's Eve is what you do for the rest of the year, which is why I've never played a show on New Year's Eve, because she wants to be doing me on New Year's Eve instead of me standing in front of a crowd singing. Yeah. So I've respected that for 31 years. So I gotta honor that because
I don't have a wife to respect yet. So.
So
wow.
But yeah, we're down. So where can they find your single?
The single is everywhere. We're talking Spotify, Apple, Deezer, Anywhere you can get your music from, Amazon, it's everywhere.
Okay, cool.
You know, I would appreciate it if you guys, everybody, could go
Mhm.
listen to it and leave a comment about it and tell me what you think of it. Apple,
Absolutely.
wherever.
Absolutely.
There it is.
That's why I try and
was
share
trying-
all your
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's super important, ladies and gentlemen. You people that are listening, it costs you nothing to hit that
Mhm.
share button. That's zero.
Nothing.
And it helps out so much because if you share, your friends share, then their friends share. That's the idea.
Yeah,
Yep. And
that
here's
is the idea.
Lemoyne's and here's Lemoyne's Spotify page. So that's what we're talking about. Insecurity is the one that he came out originally.
Yeah.
There's Claustrophobia. There's a new one.
Yes, that's
So-
the new one.
All you got to do is listen to it and then give it a thumbs up. And then while you're there, just listen to all these other things, all these other songs. You know, because while you're there, you might as well just enjoy the moment with, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Insecurity's a banger too, and it did
Uh-huh.
super well on many different platforms, right?
Yes, it is. It's everywhere. As a matter of fact, it's still going strong. It's a great song.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see people sharing that all over the place, especially
Yep.
on TikTok. You have an incredible following on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
They're-
But that's
TikTok.
They're
the
rabid.
thing, man.
Yeah.
That's like
Started
that's the
out
thing.
really
That's
well
where,
with TikTok.
yeah, that's good because that's like supposed to be the thing now. Everybody's on TikTok. They're getting off of the Facebook and the Instagrams, and
Yeah.
you know, I
At
just
least
haven't
that's where they
ventured.
go to.
Right. Oh, it's funny, dude. I'm going to show you this. This can crack you up, Lemoyne. So check this out because I like this. We've learned how to screen share since we first talked to you. So we screen share when we're talking to our guests because we want to promote you, right? Look at the second thing that comes
Right.
up when I typed in your name on Google, man.
Oh yeah, 2 days ago. Happy birthday.
Yeah, but think about that.
yeah.
That's
I
the
saw
second thing that pops up.
I saw that.
That just cracks me up,
My-
though. Of all the
That's
things,
so cool.
of all the things
Yeah.
that Lemoyne Alexander would pop up, the second thing that pops up is me wishing you happy birthday.
Yeah.
So you
Thank
gotta
you.
love that.
I
You gotta
appreciate that.
Yeah,
too.
you're welcome, man. So, but yeah, so I want to get. There's your main stuff. There's the overview. If you just type in Lemoyne Alexander on Google, you're gonna come to his stuff right here. You got his official artist page for Instagram. You got the Spotify link we talked about. You can go watch his videos on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. You can write comments on that as well.
Yeah.
There's his actual website, Isotope Records Artists. Is that how I said it? Isotopia?
Isotopia.
Isotope?
Yeah, that
Isotopia?
was
Okay.
a great label I was on with the last two albums. The new album
Okay.
is with Symphonic and Wicked now.
Okay. Okay, cool. Look, there I still come up. That's crazy. That's
Yeah, there you are.
but what? The odd. That's just crazy shit right there. And
Yeah,
there's
it
the
is.
Claustrophobia little clip, their new single. So be sure to check that out. There's his albums, right?
Yes.
Yep. When's you gonna drop the entire new album? What these songs are
The
on? When's that
album
dropping?
is scheduled. I think it's scheduled for March.
Okay. Cool.
The whole entire album. I think you're going to really, really enjoy it too, because it's great songs like Insecurity and Claustrophobia.
Yeah.
I like the format you were going to release it on too. That little guitar that you had.
Yeah, I'm going to do
Yeah.
that.
Physical
That's
format.
You
gonna
still
be
doing that?
cool. Yeah,
That's
we're
gonna be
still doing
really
it.
cool, man.
Yeah, that's
I want one of
that's
those
a
for sure.
great,
That was
unique
awesome.
way to release an album.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
I love that
Absolutely.
picture. That's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, that's your Facebook cover page, Lemoyne.
Yes, I was looking at it. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Do you do these or do you have someone do these for you?
My record company and my management team does all of this.
Nice.
They do a
Right on, dude.
fantastic job.
Mhm.
I
They
love
do
them turning you
fantastic.
into an animated character. It's so cool.
Yes, I thought it was crazy at first, but it really worked, and the fans liked it.
Yeah.
So we went
Uh-huh.
with it. We stayed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm a
No, it's-
fan. I like it. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. And I like the fact that you got all the stuff. You got the guitars, you got the keyboards, you got the drums back there. Because if people don't know, he plays all the instruments. Like he could put his own band together in his own house, in his basement, in his studio, and come out the next day with an entire full song where he's played every single instrument on the album.
in addition to being the engineer, the producer,
Right.
the
Same thing.
mixer
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah. So
You
see,
guys are
there's
making
him.
me blush here.
Yeah, but see, there's him, the Insecurity artwork. Look, that's him on all different levels of music, right? That's all.
Yep.
That's him. That's all his alter egos. He's a schizophrenic musician. He plays everything.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Oh, there's an old picture of you on the stage, man. That's a cool one.
Yeah, I saw. That was last year.
Right on, dude.
Where's that at?
That was in California.
Okay.
Man, that's cool. Big stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I like
of
black
people.
and I like black and white, man. Black and
Me
white
too.
pictures are so cool.
Oh yeah.
That's cool too. I like that.
Yep. They got this little Stevie Ray Vaughan hat vibe going on.
Love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
dig
was
that,
Perfect World.
Okay.
We
Cool.
were shooting at a warehouse, I think we were when we shot this. one.
Oh, right on. That's cool. Cool background, man. Oh, there you go. Perfect World.
Yeah, Perfect World.
Nailed it.
310.
Nailed it.
I like
Nailed
the
it.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was difficult making that album, but I'm glad I got through it though.
Right on. Is that a studio shot or are you sitting on a bus?
That's on a bus when
I
we
thought
was
so.
yeah, doing a lot of shows, and particularly this one was, if I'm not mistaken, a festival in Chicago.
Oh, right on. Very cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna do all that again next year.
Right on, brother.
This Bad For You, that was one of
Yep.
my favorite
Yep.
songs from the second album.
Cool. Right on. Obviously, it's a
look that
relationship
one up.
song because there's a chick in the picture, so you know it's relationship oriented.
Yeah,
And the
it
best,
is.
best,
What it-
best songs are about relationships, man.
Yeah,
I don't-
most definitely.
You
I
still
mean,
have
that's how
that
they
guitar?
created.
I like that guitar.
Yep, that is a cool guitar.
Mr. Policeman. That's the shot from Mr. Policeman.
Okay.
You still have that guitar?
Oh yeah, I still have it. As a matter of
I-
fact,
That's a badass axe, man. I love it.
yeah. I was gonna give it to the California Music Hall of Fame. I mean, when at some point I'm gonna give it to them so they can have it,
Hmm.
you know, in the museum.
Why? But then it can't be played. It'll be silenced, man.
I don't play it
Oh.
anymore like I used to, but
Oh, okay.
you know,
All right.
Yeah. Don't
It's n-
silence it, man.
I was gonna donate it.
If it's one of your go-to pieces, definitely don't donate it.
No. Yeah, you're right about that. But I
That's
like
how you
it.
know.
Okay.
That's how you know how much Eddie Van Halen loved Dimebag, because he gave up one of his most prized possessions to bury him in.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I didn't
crazy,
know
too.
that.
Yeah, the black and white Bumblebee striped guitar that was on.
Yeah, I didn't
what-
know that either. But that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't know that.
such a
Wow.
tribute. That's how much Eddie admired what Dime did
Wow.
for revolutionizing guitar playing, just like he did. You know.
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Well, I believe you.
I don't know if you guys followed the first two albums. The last
Badass
song,
Mm-hmm.
there's an instrumental,
Okay.
Euphoria, that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah, we listened to. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my God! I just heard the final mix of the last one, the newest one I just did. Unbelievable.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I
Right on.
forgot about it, and I listened
Right
to
on.
it, and I was like, "Kidding me?"
So you
That's
got the
awesome.
mastered version of it?
Yeah. So I listened
Awesome.
to it, and the weirdest thing is there's a section at the end of the song where it's about at least maybe a minute of just me playing, no music,
Cool.
just solo.
Cool.
And I was like,
Just guitar?
"Wow." Yeah, I was amazed.
Cool.
And-
Awesome.
And
Right on.
as I was doing it, I forgot all about it because I haven't heard it in some weeks and months now. Now that I listened to it, it was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe that I did it. I must have been in the zone when I did that.
That's
I
cool,
just
man.
I just listened to a podcast where this guy was saying, and it blew me away, that what you're describing is the artists and entertainers that are walking the planet today are literally pulling from the Akashic records in another dimension back to this one, an art
Right.
form that has been lost to humanity longer than we realize. So if it wasn't for the players and the entertainers that are walking the earth today, it would be a pretty boring place.
Wow. I never looked
That's
at it
why
like that.
I've always tried to describe to people, I don't know what's happening when I'm playing because I can't describe it to you in real time, right?
That's true. That is so
You're-
true. It's come from the
You're
universe.
pulling, that's it. You're pulling from somewhere else. You're the vehicle. and you're throwing it back out to the public, and you're hoping that they are able to comprehend what you are, right? That's what you just described to me.
I was just getting ready to say this is weird to me, because what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Because as I was listening to Euphoria Part 3, the latest one, it felt like a out of body experience. Like, is that me? I had to ask myself, like, did I do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening to it as a fan, thinking, wow, that's pretty good. And I didn't even know that it was me. After I listened to it a couple of times, I was like, wow, I can't believe that I did it. I still can't believe it.
What made me start thinking in this direction, Lemoyne, is when Chris asked me if I would consider re-recording some of our old music that now, like he said, we wrote 30 years ago, some of it. So I'm listening to these solos and I'm like, I'm number one, I'm not even that same person anymore, right? I was 22 years old when I recorded that, or 21.
Right.
And
Music
then my next
never
question
dies.
is, but then my next question
dies.
is, am I capable of doing it as the person I am today? Just what you just said.
Yeah.
Am I even that same person? Like, I had to sit down and relearn it step by step as like I'm the student now of my own music. It's crazy.
The challenge with that has always been, like, for instance, what you're saying, when I was with State of Grace, we created a lot of beautiful music together as a band. And I asked myself the same question you just asked me, like, wow, can I perform these songs later on in my life? Will I still have the same vibe and energy about it? And for me personally, I have a few, maybe 2 or 3 out of the 3 albums that we did that I really enjoyed, that I probably would add into my set list. But no, I couldn't touch any of those songs again. And for personal reasons, because, you know, it wouldn't feel the same singing them and not being able to look at my guys behind me, and, you know, it just doesn't feel the same. So when I do my new songs, it's just a whole new lane where it's just my lane and I can enjoy myself and don't have to worry.
And I totally
about
understand what you're saying, because if the guy to the left of me here wasn't singing Free Man or Listen to Your Sin, that guy's an imposter now, right?
Exactly.
Those songs are so ingrained into my DNA and who I am. If Chris isn't singing them, they're never going to be played again unless they're recorded, right? So that's why it's important to get them down.
Yeah. You guys should record the songs, trust me.
Oh, we're going to.
We're working on it. We need you to come and do some drums.
Sure.
Just because.
I'd be more than
Michael explain it. Michael explain it. Mike's got the guitar. I got the vocals. We got William Richard Carr IV that does the bass. We need somebody to fill in the gap that Scott left when he decided to, take
whatever
his own
you guys
life.
need from me, I'm there. You tell me
when you hear these.
When
you hear these beats, it'll make sense, because he was a very unique drummer. You know, he would be like a Phil Rudd from AC/DC, kind of flew by the seat of his pants.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, Free Man, the intro song to the show. That's us as a band. So that drums.
Wow, I didn't know. That's why I was like, man, I really like that song. That's a great song.
Yeah. So that's us. Yeah, that's a song called Free Man. That's we wrote a long time ago, but it's lyrically it's still relevant, man. Like if I could grab the lyrics readily available and read them, you'd be like, fuck, that's totally relevant. Listen to Your Sins, totally relevant. Just because I wrote. Yeah, it was. I didn't intend to be a timeless writer, but it just, because of how the world is and everything's so cyclical, it's just it's still relevant, which is cool.
Wow. What's the name of the song? You said Listen to Your Sins?
That song's called Free Man. And if you go watch one of our episodes and go to the very end, you hear the song Listen to Your Sin at the end. So we bookend each episode with 2 of our original songs.
Oh, nice. That's really nice. Hey, listen, I'm in. All you got to do is call me. I'm in.
Right on. Cool.
Well, you listen to both of those songs after this episode comes out, and all you got to do is recreate those drum tracks, and you're part of our new legacy.
There you go.
You got it.
Nemesis 2.0 is what we're going to call it.
Okay, cool. I'm in. I'm in all the way.
We would appreciate it, especially coming from somebody who knows how to make drums sound like somebody played them.
Oh,
yeah. That was us, brother. right there.
I'm looking.
That was on the world famous Mason Jar stage where Tool, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Pat Travers, everybody you can imagine got their start.
Oh,
Yep.
that's nice.
Yep.
Sacred
Cool.
Reich, Flotsam and Jetsam. That would have been circa 1996, probably 7.
Nah, I'm trying to figure out what I was doing in 96.
Probably a girl.
Oh, I was producing, making rap, hip hop and rap back then. When you guys
Chris
were
says a
doing
girl.
Okay. I got it. All right, you ready? This is Freeman Lemoyne.
Here's your lyrics.
Everybody, listen to me. I'm going to tell you how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Wait, this is Freeman. Is that what Freeman starts with, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have a very angry voice. You're saying
I
it
do,
very
I do, I
nicely,
do.
and it sounds,
Yeah.
it's like everybody.
I was like, because it doesn't feel right. It's like, everybody, listen to me. I'm going to tell you how it's supposed to be. I'm going to be a free man. I'm going to fight until the end. I'm going to find the answers here. I'm going to make it all quite clear. In this world today, we all get betrayed. Like a brother of mine, he's got a brainless mind. I'm going to choose the road I take. I'm going to choose the road to escape. I'm going to fly with the heavens above. I'm going to be the chosen one. People tell me how to live my life, and preachers tell me about the afterlife. I'm going to make it if I can. I'm going to beat down the man. I'm going to fly with the eagles above. I'm going to be with the lonesome dove. I'm going to ask the questions here. Why every motherfucker got to disappear? I say, yeah. That's I say, yeah part. Listen, children, to my mind, I am a victim of senseless crime. I'm going to tell you about the afterlife. I'm going to tell you about what happened last night. I'm going to tell you about my insanity. And then it ends. In your face, rock and roll. Just, And then see if I dated this or not.
But there's some very profound statements within that set of
Great
lyrics.
April 1996.
I like the lyrics. The lyrics are nice.
Do you have the lyrics to Listen to Your Sin there? Thumbs up, guy?
I believe so. Hold on.
So Listen to Your Sin is written from a third-person perspective that I didn't know. I thought that Chris had some serious trips under his belt, right? Mushrooms, acid. It's written in the third person from somebody, meaning himself, who has never done it, describing it exactly to my experience, what I had being a person who's done it several times, right?
Right.
I didn't know that till we started this podcast, and him and I started talking about our lyrics that became our songs. And he's like, no, man, I've never done it in my life. I just, went to a space in my head and I wrote it from a third person perspective.
You wrote the lyrics?
Chris did.
Oh, Chris did. Okay.
He's never had that experience. But if you've been a person
I've never tripped on acid, dude, but I wrote a song that when Mike heard it, it equates to tripping on acid.
Man, I know I want to hear it.
So that's the song that you're going to hear at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
We put Free Man at the beginning, which he just read you the lyrics, and I put Listen to Your Sin at the end of the podcast. Those were two of my favorite songs to play live because you could see people really thinking about what he was saying at the time.
Okay.
Another one of my favorites that I would like to recreate is a song called Vision. He literally saw his own death at 30 years old.
Really?
Then ended up having a heart attack in real life at the same age.
True that.
How crazy is that? And he told me about this when we wrote the song. He's like, it's a vision that I'm having of my death on my 30th birthday. And it got to the point where it was so creepy, Lemoyne. I was like, you got to stop telling me that fucking story because it's... So here's the seriousness in his eyes.
Yeah. So I can't find Listen to Your Sin yet, but here's Vision. I had a dream the other night. It took me on a weary flight. It took me down into my soul and showed me the place where I'll go. Took a journey. I found you there. I saw my equal in my stare. I got to find the reason why. I got a vision. Yeah, I got a vision controlling me. I got a vision. Yeah, I got a vision of agony. 3 stages of my life. First was when 2 cars collide. Second one, under the sun in a pool of water. I'm the chosen one. Third time was dying time. On that tablet, on that line, because everyone is under the sun. They're going to dig that I'm the only one. The reason why. I got to find the reason why. I got a vision. Yeah, I got a vision. Yeah, I got a vision controlling me. I got a vision. Yeah, I got a vision. Yeah, I got a vision of agony. I got a
There's your
vision.
melody.
I got a vision. I got a vision controlling me. I stepped outside.
I like it.
Thank you. I stepped outside inside my mind. I saw the echoes of my crimes because the iron dog is on the way. I got to find the reason why to stay. So all of those were, it was the whole backstory. Like Mike said, is I started having these dreams and I was really into lucid dreaming at the time. So I started learning how to control my dreams. So the first part, I saw these two cars collide. So when I first had that dream, you wake up freaking, oh shit. And then instead of freaking out, I kind of looked back into the cars and I was hunched over one of the steering wheels dead. So then freaked out, and then I would tell myself, dream again, dream again.
So this
So
is
finally I
actually a true story then.
It was a whole dream sequence. So
Wow.
I saw the vehicles crash, and then the next thing when I got past that in the dream, the next level of the dream was like I turned, and I was sitting at the edge of a swimming pool. All it was a giant pool, like a giant massive pool,
Right.
and field all around. So I walked up to the pool, took the step on the first step, looked into the water. There was a body. I reached in and rolled over. It was me, bloated. I'm like, oh fuck, woke up, right?
Right.
So went through the phases of the dream again, got to the body, rolled it over. Instead of freaking out, I pulled it to the step. And then when I turned, I was in another spot. That spot I was in all I can equate it to is like New York or Chicago, where you have the street lines with newspaper. Remember newspaper stands? You buy
Yeah, I
quarters in.
remember them.
So just a whole street row of them. And I'm walking by them, and every one of them said 3/4/2000, which was my 30th birthday. So that's where it equated to me. Okay. So then I went and did tarot card reading, which Nikki fucking hated because she's all against that shit. And when I asked the question in your head, if you've done tarot cards, you don't ask them the question, you think of the question while they're shuffling. So my question was I gonna die when I was 30? First fucking card laid down was the Reaper. Boom. I'm like, oh fuck. And then the guy's reading them. He's like, what'd you ask? And I was like, I don't want to tell you, man. He's like, well, what I'm seeing is there's a life change or something's going to happen that's going to, just be like, not devastating, but something's going to happen when you turn 30 that's going to completely change the trajectory of the trajectory of your life. And I'm like, okay, well, I asked if I was going to be dead when I was 30. He's like, at some level you're going to be. And shit you not, Memorial Day weekend in my 30th year, I had like crazy heart palpitations. It ended up being an AFib with rapid ventricular rate, but they put this drug in me called cardizem, which is supposed to reignite your normal arrhythmia. And they only put half of it in, and I started having a reaction. So next morning he's like, if I would have pushed all that, you wouldn't be here. We'd be in the basement not having a conversation. I'm like, oh, so there you go.
How crazy is that?
And the reason why I'm having a hard time finding Listen to Your Sin is these are all my lyrics.
Oh, man.
There's tons and tons of lyrics, man.
Yeah, I think I told you the first time you were on here, the reason that he got the job was we literally met at a Candlebox concert. So I knew he could sing because he was singing with the band while they were playing, and the power went out for about 15 minutes during that. That's one of our set lists.
Yeah, I see. Wow.
So the power went out for like 15 minutes, and the moment the power went out, their singer obviously got distracted and quit singing, but my new singer kept singing a cappella behind me. So I already knew the guy could sing. So I told my drummer at the time, we needed a singer. I said, I already know the guy can sing. This was in the early 90s where, there was no internet. So we met at a bar. You didn't want somebody to come to your practice space and see $10,000 worth of equipment that you couldn't replace because we were poor back then, right?
Yeah, I remember them days.
Still poor, but anyway.
As long as you got music, man, you rich, man. Always.
He showed up to his first practice with the same basically suitcase full of lyrics that he's added to, many times over throughout the years, but he already probably had 100 songs written, maybe 130.
Wow. That's a lot of songs.
At least half of them were what he would consider ready to be turned into music. A lot of it was poetry and spoken word kind of stuff, but he would take certain sections of those things, just like he said to you, and he would turn them into a song at the snap of a finger.
Found him. Listen to Your Sin.
Yeah, these are great lyrics, man.
The original lyrics, handwritten, everything. That's how old school I am. I'm a hoarder, Lemoyne. I got a dream for the common man. You got to fight until the end. I got a feeling, and it's quite clear, you're going to fly and disappear. Drop the tablet, go insane, feel the juice flow through your veins. On your journey, take it slow. Choose the place where you will go. Take a trip behind your eyes, feel the sorrow beneath your cries. Take a moment, listen to your sin. Fight the battle that you must win. Fight the battle that you must win. Oh, listen, baby, to your sin. Now your journey has come to an end. You haven't found solace to your sin. You keep on fighting, waiting for the day when you close your eyes and it fades away. I ain't no preacher, I ain't no praying man. You turned your back on the Almighty's hand. You got a dream in your life. You're soaring higher every night. Something like that. Take the trip behind your eyes. Feel the sorrow revolutionize. Take the moment, listen to your sin. Fight the battle that you must win. Fight the battle that you must win. And before we would do the song, I would introduce it as tomorrow doesn't understand. Yesterday will never be again. So take a moment and listen to your sin. And the mic would start and I'd turn around.
Because there was about 12, there was probably a 12-bar intro to the song. So he had plenty of time to make that happen. And then it was
Them
just
lyrics
so
are
cool.
very good, man. They're
Thank you.
spectacular.
Thank you.
I like
Thank
the
you.
lyrics.
Thank you.
It definitely
man, you
describes
guys
the
can write me
experience.
Write me. I usually write all of my songs, but
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
you
write your
guys
song.
Thanks, man. Maybe you guys can write something for me.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
love to contribute guitar tracks for sure.
Most definitely.
That's my forte. That's my forte.
And I'm going to start on the next album in 3 or 4 more months.
Here's where I'll make you a deal. If you come up with a rhythm track that you would like to hear a different take on a solo, you send me a WAV file and I'll throw it into Studio One and I'll put my version on and I'll send it back to you and you can decide if you like it or not. I've done that for a couple other people too. So
Yeah.
You got a deal. I would do that.
yeah. If you ever
Yeah.
come up with a rhythm track and you're like, hey, I'd like another idea of, what a solo would sound like on it, just tell me what you're looking for and I'll put my spin on it for sure.
Yeah, and
You
from
got
lyrical standpoint, if Mike would come up with a riff, and then I would just when I start hearing the music, then I just start writing. So that's the muse for me is the music possesses me, and then all of a sudden here's a song. I mean, listen to your sin, 10 minutes maybe it took me to write that. I mean, it wasn't nothing. I'm a big believer when you write songs, you can't force it, right? It just has to flow.
It has to flow.
Right. So if something comes to my head and I write like 3 verses and it just stops, I walk away from it. I'm not going to force something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is the
So
way.
you're the same way.
Yeah, my method is almost the same way.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, like, when I get into a zone when I'm writing a song, it's all I have to feel the track first. The track is what gets me every time. So if I'm listening to a track and I've never done this. So, I'm telling you the truth. I've never had most writers, they have like books of lyrics and stuff. I've never did that. I go into the studio, which is mine or a different studio, and I have to hear the track. And I'll listen to it, and then I'll say, okay, let me go in there. And I go in there and I actually sing the melody, and then I put the words with the melody, and then I'll do like, a straight pass, and then I'll come back and fill in the words all in one take, all in that one night. So I don't leave the studio to come back. Oh, I got another part. No, I get it all done that night.
You got to, because that's when the muse is talking to you. That's when the energy's there, right?
That's the only way I can work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll go back into the studio like, what the fuck did I record? What is this?
But see, imagine how, say, put yourself in Prince's shoes or Eddie Van Eddie's shoes, right? And all the stuff that they have recorded, and even Ozzy, that nobody's ever heard because they did exactly what you did. They went in like, I have an idea. I got to lay this down before I miss it, because 9 times out of 10 in my entire, since I've been writing, because I started writing when I was in high school, an English teacher kind of pulled that out of me and like, oh shit, I can do this. Like, this is a gift. I need to. So that's all my stuff is written in a poetry ballad format because that's how she taught me to write. So that's why all my lyrics can fit to so many different things. But when you have that, when you're in that moment and you have that, the voice in your head, you have to go with it because otherwise it's not going to be there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have that same.
And that's for real with songwriters. That's how.
Right.
There's an interesting fact here for me. Couple of things happened. I came up with a song where you just because you just said it. Like one day I'll never forget. This happened when I was in Texas, and I had did the track. The song was done. Yeah. And I'm not the kind of guy who try to rush it and try to create. Yeah. No, I just did the track and left it up. And then I went to bed. Yeah. I think I went to bed around about 11 that night. And about 2:30 in the morning, the lyrics came to my head. So I was so sleepy. I took my phone and I went, some shit. I don't know what it was, but I said it into my phone because I know how I am. If I wake up in the morning, I'm not going to remember. So whatever I said in the phone,
it sucks.
I won't remember because it'll be the last thing on my mind. So when I got up that morning, I said, "What the hell did I record?" So I hit the button, and it was, but I could hear the idea of what I was doing, even through all that muttering, it was garbled. But I was like, "Oh, I got it!" And I ran into the studio, and I turned the mic on, and I listened to it, and I recreated it and reproduced it into my mind and put it on the mic, and the rest is history. I had a full song.
That was awesome.
With about 2 or 3 hours.
That was the next question I was going to ask you, and you kind of just answered it. I know, Chris knows. We just talked about it. How many times have you not been able to record something? And I've become mature enough as a musician to laugh at it and ask myself this question: what are the chances I'm going to remember this kick-ass idea tomorrow? Zero.
Oh, have you? To answer your question,
nowadays you just record it into your iPhone. But I'm talking about like back in the day.
I was just getting ready to say
you just didn't have those. Oh my God, dude.
Oh man, I
the
had
ideas
some brilliant
that were lost.
songs.
Oh yeah,
that I was in crazy places at the most like unbelievable situations, and I had to stop and run in a back. I'll never forget. I ran into I was out. I ran into a bathroom of some restaurant, and I wrote everything on a piece of tissue before cell phones. You remember that? You write that? Yeah. I wrote it down, and I kept the melody in my head so much that I couldn't pay attention to what everybody else was doing. And what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I got the song in my head, and I hurried back, went back to the studio, and I cut it. I cut it because there was no cell phone or nothing. Yeah, see,
right?
Exactly.
You just write shit and you use
so you know what I'm talking
white
about.
Out
man.
everything.
Oh my God, plenty of times where I was writing shit on toilet paper and everything, man. Crazy.
Ripped pages, fucking stains of food and crap. You know, like probably eating a taco. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
See, and that was the sad part about being a guitar player is if you didn't have a cassette player that you could record handy next to you, you were just jamming and you're like, I got to either remember that I either have to play it enough to where I can't forget it or it's going to be lost because there were a lot of years I didn't have access to be able to record things. And then unfortunately, I lost a bunch of years of my recordings because when I moved back here, long story short, a bunch of my stuff got left behind, so I had to start over. All I had left was, a few things that Chris had and whatever was left in my head. Luckily, a lot of those songs we played so many times, you're never going to forget them.
Yeah. Well, that we had back in the day, we lost Lemoyne.
Uh-oh. I think he hit the wrong button. Oh, there you go.
And back in the day, there was this. No,
That's
you're good. So back in the day, I actually bought a camcorder from this place called Service Merchandise because you could lay away it. And I used to bring that to practice and set it up in the corner. And we would record our practice for the sole purpose of being able to capture what we were just rehearsing Because you can, as a musician, you know, so much stuff is created by improving.
Oh yeah. And we were lucky to have the camcorder for sure. That was like way.
I remember
In fact,
I did this when I was breaking into the industry as a rap producer.
yeah.
And my kid's mom was like, you know what you need to do? You need to like, because there was no way to remember anything. So she
No.
volunteered me to get a camcorder. And I was like, you know what, you're right. So I went and bought a camcorder.
Yeah.
And they are the most hardest things to work with because you got to plug it up, then you got to buy all the little cassettes and tapes, and then,
Yep.
you know,
You
then you got to
plug it into
rewind
the
it back
TV.
so you won't erase nothing.
Right.
So I
Right.
used to go to New York a lot, and I did a lot of big records back then when I was producing rap and hip hop, and
Yeah.
we would have the tape machine running. You know, because there's no like, erase and go back and none of that like you do with cell phones
Sure.
or, you know, you that's a one take, period. So,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
I ran through a lot of my sessions on the camcorder. And then, you know, I do all of that for like the whole trip and then come back home and I got to look at it on the tape. There's no way to transfer it. You got to go someplace to transfer it.
Right.
It was just a
Right.
big mess to do all of that. You know, it was like, but I still got it's
And then
amazing because I still got cassettes of all
Right.
of that stuff. And one day I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
transfer all that to see all that stuff that I did back in the day, though.
Yep. Yep. And then you have to
That's
take the
fun.
cords and plug them into the VCR and then hit
Yeah,
hit
you know
record
exactly
on the
what I'm talking
VCR.
about.
Right. So
Oh
then the
my God, those
VCR would
days
record
were
everything on the
horrific.
tape
Well,
while
I-
you're watching it on the TV. It's
I
crazy.
remember before every show, you would have to give somebody like a 15-minute tutorial on how to run the camcorder because and Chris kept saying, and I need you to pay attention because you don't understand. You hit one wrong button and you're going to screw it up and then I can't see
Yeah.
it and I'm going to be pissed, right?
Yep.
And that would
that's
happen a
true.
couple times.
Yep.
And that's happened multiple because I didn't go back and look at it. I'd hit the record button and erase, have
Right.
little sections, be like,
Right.
what is this?
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
old
Yep.
days, man. Old
The
days.
good old days.
Now, I'm going to tell you
Yep.
something. You know, we got to thank technology. I know it may be,
Yeah.
there's some good about it and there's some bad about it.
Sure.
Like, when I look at things the way that it is today, I love it that we're more accessible to things that we didn't have back 20, 30 years ago
Absolutely.
than we are today. Like today.
Especially to be in touch with your fans at the level that you
Yeah.
are, right?
Exactly. There's
mean,
no way I could have been able to do what I'm
when
doing
you were-
now with a band back then.
When you were a big-time
Impossible.
producer in the 90s, if Chris and I, as two normal human beings, or even as two musicians, wanted to talk to you for an hour or so, that would have been impossible. Those kind of
would have been
things
impossible.
didn't happen because
Exactly.
you would have been inaccessible to somebody at our level, and we wouldn't have been running in the same circles anyway.
Yeah.
But now we're
Right.
talking to you about the level of success you achieved in the 90s, and now the new career that you've developed in the internet age as a rock guitarist and a producer and a songwriter in your own right in that world. It's just, I agree with you. I think technology, you have to look at the positive, especially for artists.
Yeah. Now the downside to it is, for me, it's how do I explain this? It's less creative. You can't do all the things that's more, organic because it's so crazy the way the music business is, the way that to actually be involved, because you can actually make a song on your phone now. You couldn't do that in the 90s.
Right.
I mean, you can make songs so easy that, it's like, where's the talent now? Back then, in my day,
There's no
you
way.
had to have talent.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people just coming up with, even with the whole, I just heard of this new software, this AI software that's literally making songs for you now.
30,000 songs a day are being uploaded to Spotify that are AI. We just released a clip a week ago about that. How crazy is that, man?
And that is bullshit. It's bullshit.
It's that's
bullshit.
so chaotic that how the hell a real true musician and artist should never have to go to AI, because you can't appreciate the music, especially live in concert. It's almost impossible because we learn from
See,
as I was growing up, I was taught how to play instruments, guitars, drums, bass, everything, and watching and learning. There was no AI. There was no way of iPhones and computer music and all. I didn't do any of that. I didn't learn how to do none of that stuff. As time has progressed, as it did into where we are today, that's like the going thing now.
Lemoyne, I always say when we were learning to play, there were two paths of travel. You either sucked or you didn't suck, right?
Yeah, right.
There was no polishing it up. There was no, I don't know how I got
the balloons, man.
the balloons
I know.
me.
That's why on my next album, I'm going straight to tape. I'm not even doing digital. Yeah. I'm going straight to tape.
Awesome.
That's good. Yeah. Awesome.
Tape machine all the way.
Yeah. We made a conscious effort too in Nemesis that anything we did at practice or in the studio, it had to be able to be replicated live. Like we weren't going to do anything that we couldn't pull off standing in front of a crowd of people. None of the backtrack bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like you had to be able to pull that shit off live, or we weren't going to record it any other way. Because then you're getting what you're getting.
The only studio magic we took advantage of is the same one anybody would. We put a rhythm guitar track underneath the solo, and Chris would do background vocals.
Right.
Yes. I mean, it's not. That's why I say, how is it that these AI musicians, how are you going to perform all of these, even though the songs you get, to me, can you, and I'm going to ask you as real musicians, can you tell the difference between an AI musician or a real organic musician in their music? Can you?
I think if you gave me an A-B example, I think I can.
The ones I've seen the videos, because every now and then you'll see it on Instagram and shit. You'll have somebody that's a video, and I can tell that's AI because the way the mouth. Because again, singers look at singers, right? I listen to lyrics. I look at how the words are sung and formulate the melody. So when I saw one not too long ago, maybe within the last week, that it caught my attention because the background was cool. I'm like, oh, what's this? And so I turned the volume up and I listened to it. And it was clearly AI at the end of the day. It wasn't an actual full-blown thing. And then when I read the paragraph below it, it clearly said it. Create your own music and your own video using this software. I'm like, motherfucker. So from an audio standpoint, I don't because music is so, what's the word? Overproduced, right? It's everything is auto-tuned and all that kind of shit.
But that's why I'm saying if you A-B it, so if you give me insecurity or claustrophobia, and then you give me a AI created song without a video or anything, I'm almost confident I could tell that Lemoyne recorded that in a studio and some dickhead made it on AI. I'm pretty confident I could tell the difference.
Yeah, because there'll be subtle nuances, right? You're gonna
even though he stacks all his background vocals, he pushes his voice to the front enough, which a good engineer and producer is going to do. To know that that's a real person and that there's enough human element in your vocals where you don't get that in those AI created songs. Like Chris said, they're almost too perfect.
Right. Yeah. What's this about, man? Chicago's alternative rock president.
Oh, that was something the record company was working on during the highlight of all of the things that was going on in the summer last year.
Right on. That's cool, man.
I don't know how they came up with that, but that was brilliant. It was kind of
nice. Yeah. See, that's the power of Facebook, man. I can deep dive into your music career.
We were shooting a clip from our documentary.
Okay. When's that come out?
That's actually in 2026. We're still
Okay,
working
cool. What's it called? Trust no one?
on it. No, it's called I don't know. They got it. They still working on a name for it right now.
Okay. That's a cool
But
picture right there.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures. In fact,
Yeah, see, I'm in the visuals, man. I like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love abstract art. I love that kind of dark colors and things like
Me
that.
too.
I love black and white. She's very happy.
Yeah, we were
You know?
definitely all about not going up there and looking like your dad and your brother decided to start a band in the basement. You know,
Right. Who's this guy?
I don't know. This is a lot of stuff I don't even know. I just
Okay,
see stuff
okay.
and be like, wow.
Yeah. There's I like the logo of this, how you did the colors and the that's cool.
Yeah,
logos.
my
I dig
management
that.
and I came up with this idea.
I dig that a lot because I'm
Me
all
too.
about. I mean, it's not obviously geared towards
Red, white,
patriotism,
and
but I
blue.
like.
It's the U.S.
Yeah,
color.
exactly. Yeah, fucking A, brother. I love
It's
that.
the reoccurring theme too. When you see that, you know it's you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely branding.
That's so important.
Yep. Branding, absolutely,
exactly.
man. Yep. Oh, I thought I got to the end almost there. I was like, oh. Lemoyne jamming, and this is the Chicago one you said, or California? This is
No,
California.
this is California.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, I had a great time with these guys. It was fantastic.
See, you gotta love it, man. Who's that?
That's Dave Serini. It's a guy that I
Okay.
did. He's a jazz guitarist that
Okay.
I did his last 2 albums, and he turned out to be one of my best friends.
Oh, right on.
He
Oh,
showed
cool.
up at the Hall of Fame event too.
Okay.
He was there.
Oh, cool.
A
Right on.
jazz
Matter of
guitarist
fact,
holding
if I'm
a
looking,
Jackson.
he signed his name on one of the guitars too.
Yeah. Well, this one's got all kinds of signatures on it.
Yeah, mine's somewhere in there, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
in the middle.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Right there.
Yes.
Yeah. See how I pulled your name out without even knowing it. See that?
Yeah,
We're here.
exactly.
We're sinking, Lemoyne.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we are.
See, dude, you make me want to be on stage again. You gotta stop.
Me too.
Yeah, man, that was fun. That was a brilliant night. I was surrounded by nothing but artists that I grew up listening to, and that was a great feeling.
There was a cool one that had all your
great
stuff
feeling.
on it, which I thought was a great picture. Anything else you want to touch on, bud?
Well, we could talk about how I came up with claustrophobia, which was
Okay. Yeah.
odd.
Absolutely.
Now here's what I want to tell you, because I'm a big believer in don't tell the world what your songs are about, because you want people to have their own interpretation of it.
Right.
So that's just my opinion. You wanna explain how you ever want to explain it. I like to dangle that carrot to be like, hey, this is, you know what I mean?
Good
But
point.
that's just me. But that's just me, because you want people to interpret their own music. Like, it pisses me off when like, okay, prime example, and then you can tell your story. Dave Draymond from Disturbed, the song Sickness, and the whole part in there that on not the radio version, but the studio version, how he's fighting with his mom and she's beating him and shit. That was all made up. That was all made up. I'm like,
I
you
thought that was
motherfucker,
real.
No,
all-
it was
we all
all
did.
fucking made up, man. And it
We
pissed
all
me off.
did.
Like, dude, what the fuck? You don't tell people the true meaning behind your shit. Like legit, like Mike said earlier, he thought I tripped with acid and mushrooms, man.
Yeah.
Not a day in my
Yeah,
life.
because see, that takes away from the feel of the song.
Thank
because
you.
There are people in this world who are actually going through that,
Yep.
Yes.
and
So
they want to be
actually,
able to identify with that.
Right.
He actually swayed me to this side of thinking. I didn't used to think like this, but the more I hear him tell these stories, I agree with him wholeheartedly now, because
it
there's certain
changes it.
songs that mean things to me
Mhm.
that I don't want to know that it means something differently to the artist. Right?
Well,
Isn't that the
I'm
point of
gonna
music?
tell you
Is I
guys,
interpret your music however
Yes.
it comes to me.
Exactly.
and you're right. So what I will share with you guys
Okay.
will probably be the only time
He's
I
like,
tell
I
this
wasn't
story.
going to say any of this shit.
I know, but that's the thing. I just don't like it when you take away
I agree.
the power of music is the power of interpretation, right?
Yeah.
And
Poor
everybody
Lemoyne tell
interpret-
his story.
and everybody interprets everything different. So go ahead. I'll get off. I'll go over here now. Go ahead.
So you heard the whole full song, right?
Absolutely. Several times.
Okay.
Yep.
And when you listen to the full song, that you get the understanding of the lyrics and you understood it.
So I'll tell you, my interpretation firsthand was the first time I heard it, like the world is closing in on me, and I'm doing my best to maintain my place in the world as that's happening around me, right? For lack of a better term.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
I'm in the same kind of boat with Mike. Yeah, I like that. Was my interpretation too, for the most part.
okay. So the real story behind that was true. I was in a place in my head in 2024 when I was in my studio in Texas. And I was all over the place. There were things happening in my life that surprised me, that upset me. I was just really going through it. The sad part about it was I was doing it all by myself. But the good part about it was I needed to be by myself so I could heal from
Yeah.
all the disastrous situations that came before that. Now,
I
as I was
understand that.
as I was going through my moment, excuse me,
Yep. You're
my
good.
manager called me and was he and I were talking on the phone, and I was not in a good place. I was very disappointed. I was upset. And he was like, you know, the last thing I needed to hear was him telling me, just write a song about it. Write a song about it. I was so angry at him for saying it. Like, seriously, you want me to write I'm about to crash and burn. You know, all the walls was caving in on me, and my mindset was different. I was hungry. All kinds of shit was going on that I was not used to. And
Now
the
you want
only
me to
thing this
relive
man
it
can
every
say to
3
me-
minutes and 30 seconds.
Exactly. The only thing this man can say to me is write a song about it. So I was so angry at him for saying it, I got off the phone. I didn't want to hear no more. And I surrounded myself with all this optimistic, you know, and
Yeah.
viewpoints of everything that I was experiencing at that moment. And I sat down on the couch and I said, you know what? Maybe he's right. Fuck it. Let me go ahead and write a song about it. So I took all that negative energy, all the energy that I had that started the song off was negative. By the time I got to the finishing part of it, it became positive. And
That's
I
awesome.
took all that energy and I put it into Claustrophobia, and I can't believe that. And the song was created in that one day.
But see
And
that's the power of what we have, you and I, because Mike doesn't write lyrics, but that's the power of being able to take your struggles, right, and put them on paper. Because I lived a fucked up life. I mean, like literally, I could have gone one or two ways in my life. I went this way instead. Had I not had that English teacher not pulled out the fact that she knew I could write, my trajectory would have been completely different, because writing was able, and it allowed me to purge everything. Like I purged all the demons out through music. And then as we started performing these songs in the darkness that I was writing in those songs, that was cathartic in itself, performing, because I'm pushing all that shit out to the crowd, right? Even though they don't know I'm pushing out this negative, dark shit, it's a vehicle to keep my sanity. So I love the fact that he's like, write this shit down, because that helps you get through that. And now you can look back on it without harboring any real darkness and pain associated with it, because you worked through it, right?
But I'm gonna ask you this: when someone says something like that to you, and you are in a different zone and a different, your mindset is different. That's the furthest and the last thing on your mind.
Yeah, agreed.
You're trying to fix every fucked up situation in your life. You're trying to change your attitude and your personality. The last thing you want to do is write a song about it, right?
True.
But it is the best time to do it.
It is.
Exactly.
Because it's top of mind. It's top of mind, and all the feelings are there, and the emotions are there.
And
the
when
words
he told
just
me,
flow.
the killing part about it was when he told me, I was very angry. And when I sat down and thought about it, gave it some thought. Like about an hour later, I said, maybe he's right. Let me go in and see what I can create from all of this energy that I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the music came about first. Dun, 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 dun. That just, because if you can hear the music, it just sounds angry. It sounds energetic.
Yeah.
So I took that energy, and from what I was going through, I didn't even write none of this down. I just went in there and sang it. Then the words got a little weird, so I just started making the words kind of like rhyme together. But basically, what you're hearing is all of that energy coming out of me.
Yeah.
And then towards the by the time we got to the second verse, that's when I started saying, okay, I can't project this kind of energy. I have to be more positive, even though I'm going through something. And it helped me to understand that this could be a therapeutic song for not just me, but for other people as well. Just like insecurity. So when I got finished with it, it took me almost like 8-9 hours. I finished the whole song. The song was done. And I sent it back. And I didn't even call him. I just sent it to him. Like, okay, here's what you asked me to write from my experience. He literally called me back, and he cried on the phone. He was like amazingly shocked. And he was like, dude, you know, this is beautiful. We're going to turn this to a single. I said, a single? We already had a single, which was supposed to be Daydreaming. And he heard Claustrophobia. He was like, he fell in love with it. The man cried. This is a full grown man who cried from listening
That's
to
so
the
cool,
song.
man.
There you go.
And I knew then, I was like, okay, I don't have anything else to say. And to be honest with you, I really didn't like look at that song like that.
Yeah.
Well,
but see, that's the thing. But that's what I'm saying. Okay, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but you guys both said something that people need to listen to that are not artists. And Chris is right. I don't write lyrics. You know, if you want to know how I'm feeling, I'll play you a song and you'll know exactly how I feel.
Yeah, exactly.
But you both said something that's very important to people who listen to music as therapy. It's the same therapy for the person that wrote the song, right?
Exactly.
You guys both wrote it for a reason. For whatever reason, he decided to write Listen to Your Sin from the third person. He had a reason for writing that in his subconscious somehow, right? Free Man was how he was feeling at the time.
Yeah.
Nothing Man was how I was feeling at the time.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. And as you and I know, lyrics are like a testament.
Yeah.
It's like,
but it's the therapy that, you know, like a lot of times I used to think before I met Chris, that has to be horrible for that person to go up there and have to relive that moment. That was a joke that I meant when, you know, I said your manager was like, yeah, go write a song about it. Sure. You know, I'm going to write a 3-minute and 30-second song so I can relive this moment every 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I have to listen to it. Well, see, now you
understand the reason why it didn't resonate to me as well as it did to him, because whatever he associated that song with his life, that's what made him cry.
Sure.
For him to call me back and was in tears, he had never did all of my songs, but this one was the most that impacted him that much. Then I backed off. I was like, wow.
And I think real world lyrics, I think that keeps, because we played our songs thousands and thousands of times, right? And I never got tired of them, because every time it was time for Listen to Your Sin or Nothing Man or Vision, whatever, I could step into that person. I could step into Vision, because I know what Vision's about. Visions came from my soul and my memories and my dreams. So I never got tired. Right. So I never got tired of playing those songs, because every time we played it, even though it may not have been new to the crowd, it wasn't new to us. Right. I still could embed that person that wrote that song.
And you know, that's another very powerful point, Chris. Music, and it makes music so much cooler, in my opinion, than movies, because in the same night, you guys get to step into a new character in a new song every 3, 5, 10, however long the song is. The next time that new melody starts, you're like, okay, now I'm this guy, right? Now I'm this moment in time.
That is true. It's like a character.
A movie takes 2 hours. You know, that character takes 2 hours to develop. Your guys' characters within a song, you might be telling a lifetime's worth of stories, literally in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. then
true.
you're on to that next character. That vision popped in my head as he was talking
Nice.
about that.
Yeah.
You're literally stepping into that character every time that new song starts.
Yeah.
That is
That's
so
why
true.
that's why to me writing songs like we talked about earlier, we're not Van Halen, right? Van Halen writes the songs about partying, drinking, having sex with women. It's just I couldn't get behind that kind of music every single show. I couldn't because
It wasn't our thing. We always say there's nothing wrong with that, but Chris said it just on the last show. That had been done before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would we want to try to recreate what they've already been successful at? It's not that we didn't like
none
it.
of my
We loved
songs
it.
are like that.
No,
None of mine.
that's the thing. And that's why Insecurities resonates with people. That's why Claustrophobia is going to resonate with people because they're connecting it. They it's like kind of we talked about. We had a guy on the show called Dave Nudo. His name is Dave Nudo. Fantastic musician. Like he's got a song called the Lord of the Devil, which just why this guy's not top of the charts. Lemoyne is beyond me. But it's that thing. You have the ability to touch somebody's life just from the title, just the word of a song, the title of a song, or just how it feels. But it's going to open the door. Right. So the titles of your songs open that door. And once that door's open and the listener steps in, then it's game over, man. They either love it or hate it. And, we want everybody to love your stuff and, because that's why we do it.
Right.
So that's power of music, man. That's all I got.
I became a fan right off. He's going to do a Costanza. I'm out. I became a fan for the same reason because both of those songs spoke to me for the same reason Chris said. I've been in those periods of my life where I immediately, with insecurity, everybody has their own insecurities. I mean, how could you not have nailed that?
Yeah.
And the message behind your single you dropped yesterday with Claustrophobia, I don't know a human being other than maybe somebody who was a trust fund kid that never had to and they have their own pressures, right? I don't know a human being that didn't have some kind of period in their life where they felt like the walls were closing in and you have a fork in the road, like Chris said with his horrible upbringing. When he became an adult, he literally had two decisions to make. He could have blamed that on the rest of his life for being an asshole and not succeeding, or he could have said, okay, I'm going to do things differently. And he chose option B, thankfully.
Yes, thank God for that. Me too. I mean,
that's what I get out. That's what I get out of that song is I went through that period too, where I easily could have went down the path to destruction. Right.
Yeah.
The walls are closing in.
And this resonated with me last time we were on the show, and I didn't bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up now though. The insecurity concept, right? The song and all that kind of stuff. Here's somebody, I'm talking about you, Lemoyne, who has produced and been with and helped probably sell, I don't even know, millions and millions of records with everybody you've touched in your career, right?
Right.
And you're writing a song called Insecurity.
I know.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That is very ironic.
It's ironic.
Right. It's totally ironic because you're the last person in the world I would think would be insecure. But the beautiful thing about you is you're humble as a motherfucker.
Yes.
So even though you got this shit in the background, these gold albums, platinum albums, and all this stuff you shared with in the first show, at the end of the day, you're a normal human being like we are, and you're humble, and you're grateful, and you're gracious for what you are allowed to do on this planet, and you embrace it, and that shows in your music, man. It shows with the feeling behind it, and the emotion behind it, and how you're driven with it. It's just, that's why Mike and I were both like, we need to get him back on the show, because you're just a super cool human, man. And regardless of where our lives take us, I love the fact that I can just text you, hey man, it's just, you're cool like that,
There's let me tell you something, guys.
Yep.
When I was doing all of the high end big records and all of that stuff, I was not happy. I was never happy.
It was money.
It was
your
about
survival. You were making money. You had to pay your bills.
Survival. Good word, good choice. And I just played along with the whole thing because it was mostly, honestly, about 90% bullshit and 10% music.
Yeah.
Right.
And I learned that this is what the music business was, and I didn't want no part of it anymore.
That makes me happy to hear that from somebody who was there, because we can say that all day long and everybody can call us white boys, you don't know nothing about the rap game, you bold, whatever. Here's how you were somebody who was there. You had your ear to the ground. You were producing the records. You were dealing with the artists, and you just heard it, ladies and gentlemen. He says most of it was bullshit. A lot of it was made up.
And I think a lot of I think a lot of music is bullshit when it comes down to it, because the image is such a huge part.
Yeah.
Especially back then, like, you know, like people like Vanilla Ice and Eminem, right? For them to get into the rap world, Vanilla Ice made his shit up. Remember all that stuff that went down? It was all bullshit.
Oh,
It was all bullshit.
Because
But don't
otherwise
get it
you're not.
twisted. He's not the only one.
No,
There's
right?
a
Oh, I know.
lot of people we would not expect do the same thing.
Well, it's like my wife always thought Kid Rock came from a trailer, like he was trailer trash, and then something happened on Facebook a few years back, and it showed his house he grew up in. I'm like, hey babe, this is where Kid Rock grew up. She was pissed. She's like, that's not a trailer. I'm like, no, he's a trust fund baby out of Detroit.
Yep.
But the way his persona is, I'm a good old blue collar motherfucking rock, and you know, I'm gonna drink my ass off, smoke some weed, and party. But he needed that in order to sell his records and become
he did a
who
great
he is.
job of developing an image, for sure.
He did. So did Vanilla Ice. So did and Eminem. I mean, you know, I'm not huge in the rap. We've talked about that, and there's a handful of songs I like from Eminem. But had he not gone through what he gone through, and if he didn't have the kind of background that he established for the world to see, would he be as successful as he is? I mean, you're a rap producer, would he? Lemoyne?
Let me tell you something about Eminem. Eminem to me is a true artist. True artist. And what I respect about him is he respects his craft more so than the element of the bullshit that surrounds it.
I can see
and
that.
I've seen firsthand what kind of real artist he really is. I was in Lansing when he was developing his shit in Detroit. So I wasn't that far from him. And I met some of his entourage at the time when I was producing. But, you know, and me and my son talked about this a lot. For his birthday, I took him to a surprise concert that Eminem in his early days, when he was just getting started. And I was telling everybody, this guy is going to be big. Watch this guy. This guy is going to be awesome. And I took my son for his birthday to see Eminem at a closed off daytime concert nobody knew about.
Right on.
And my son became he didn't even know who he was until he saw the show. He's still a fan till this day.
That's cool.
You know, and I bumped into him, Eminem, a couple of times way before he became the guy that he is today.
Sure.
You know, and same thing with a lot of people that I know on a firsthand basis, like Common. And a lot of these guys were just like normal guys. They all normal guys until they reach a peak in their career where they become invincible.
Yeah.
And we look at them like more than what they are.
Yeah.
Well, and when it comes to me, I never wanted that perception. That's why you can talk to me and all my fans can talk to me. Everybody can talk to me. When I was a rap per se producer at that time, I watched all the artists that I produced. Everybody that I had some kind of connection with making hits with them. Yeah. Their character, their personality. Outside of the studio, oh my God, they can be unbearable to deal with.
Right.
When you're dealing with them from a perspective of an artist, they have to put their face on to do it.
Right.
So
the bullshit comes with
the game.
I
would never be, if I was an artist, and I used to say this all the time, if I ever get an opportunity to be because I never wanted to be an artist. This was, I just wanted to be behind the scenes. And
we talked about that last time. Yeah.
The shit that I seen during my course and my time as a producer, I was like, I can't believe these are the people that I looked up to.
Right.
I have to ask myself, like, wow.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, I've seen so much shit that I kept saying I would never be like this to my fans.
I think too many people forget why they started doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
And I promised myself, and I promised my dad, I promised to God, I said, if I ever got a hit, you know, I'm going to be the first person in and the last person leave. You know, I'm gonna give autographs, shake everybody's hands, and I'm not gonna charge nobody for no photographs.
Yeah.
That's not
Right.
me. You know, I'm
When
gonna
I
be
had
real.
Yep.
You
When I
know,
had my
and-
radio, when I had my show on iHeart, I did a radio show on iHeart for a year called Real Talk USA with the real estate guy. I got to be really good friends with the people in the Phoenix iHeart, right? Rightfully so, because I had a show on there. And so they would take me around when I first got there and show me where all the artists and stuff would play. One of the biggest key factors when people would come into Phoenix to play, they would do 3 songs in this little like jam session they had in the Phoenix iHeart location. The ones that showed up on time did their stuff without any headache or grievance, like none of those stupid, my head's so big I can't get to the door. Those artists went on to make millions and millions and millions of dollars and sell records and play airplay like galore. Those that fucked with them, those that showed up 10, 15 minutes late, refused to go on until they got their seltzer water or until this was done or until that was done, they squashed them like a bug. And because they squashed them like a bug, their entire career fizzled out, because if iHeart wasn't going to play you, you were fucked.
Pretty much.
So the one,
exactly.
right. So he would tell me, Steve, the guy that was behind my show, would tell me there were certain bands would come in there. They would stand at the front door of the iHeart studio for 3 hours after their 3-song performance and sign autographs and take pictures without complaining, without bitching, without moaning. And those artists that have done that, they're still out there today, and they're still charting and making music and touring.
Because, you know what I'm talking about.
Right. Because why are we here as musicians? Because of the fan base and the people that
takes fans.
Right.
You have to have fans.
Right.
And you have to be good to your fans.
That's
exactly.
They love you. They love you for a reason.
Right.
They're not going to love you for not making music. They love you because you supply them with what they need.
You supply them the soundtrack of their life.
And if they want to tell, that's great. If they want to tell you that, why would you be an ass to them?
Right.
Right. The right answer is thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm glad that my song touched your soul. I know you do. I read all your comments, man. You're one of the coolest, most gracious artists out there.
Yep.
Which is why I make a habit of sharing your stuff.
I'll never forget, I had a girl. I was dating this one girl, and she said to me, why are you so, accessible? And I said, what do you mean? You're not like the typical artists that are out. And I said, no, I don't want to be like that. You got it where people, she told me, she said, your people can call you. And I'm like, yes, they can get on the phone from my Facebook number or whatever. You can reach me and talk to me. And I thought about it when she told me that. I was like, no, I like being accessible.
You know what I always say? And I think you're the same way. As much as I like playing music, I like talking about it just as much. So why would I not be accessible to talk about any kind of music with anybody ever? It's one of my favorite things to do. And obviously it's one of all of our favorite things to do, or the three of us wouldn't be sitting here. That's why you're so accessible.
In other people's eyes, I'm supposed to be this, hardcore guy, don't want to talk to nobody, stay away from me, and
I accomplished
charge people for photos, and that's just not me. That's
no,
and
it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I get if you get to a certain level, like claustrophobia is going to blow up, and then all of a sudden you're not going to have your phone number out there, because then the whack-a-moles are going to call you, right? I had a little bit of that whack-a-mole shit when I was on the radio. People started following me back from when I left the studio and shit. It's like, okay, started getting weird messages and shit. So you kind of dial stuff back, because then you start invading that personal life, which I get, right? But I think there's a line that you can still maintain accessibility without being a dick.
Right.
And there's certain artists that have achieved that, and some that can't. I mean, people like Bieber, who's constantly berated 24/7. I can see why he's got to push everybody back and leave me alone, because if he stops for a minute, all of a sudden he's there for 5 hours. So I get some of it, but at the same time, you still have to be gracious and remember where you came from.
I'm like I said, I'm going to be the first person there and the last one to leave. I love my fans. Man. If I'm on stage for 2-3 hours, whatever, I'm gonna spend the next hours with my fans before I go home. I'm not jumping in no car and drive off. And you got all these people, here's a story. I don't know if I ever told you this story. Okay. There's a particular artist, a friend of mine had me go on the bus with. This was during my rap days, producing rap. And he invited me on tour with this particular artist. I'm not gonna say his
Nice.
name, but
Okay, that's cool.
and I was on the bus with him. He had just broken his leg, so he still performed for the fans. And I thought that was remarkable because
Yeah.
some people break their leg, they don't want to have nothing to do but heal. But he was
Right.
out there performing, he was doing his thing. So that was another reason that made me want to work with him. Until
Yeah.
we left the show, and when we left the show, we were going out of the theater and we were walking towards the parking lot to the bus. And there was a whole gang of fans there. And one particular fan was, oh my, she was in tears. She just wanted to meet him. And she ran up on him. She had like all of her records, all his records, like hugging him. That's how much she loved him.
Wow.
And
wow.
and we were all walking together talking. And she ran up on him and she kissed him on the face. And he said, the words that came out of his mouth was, "Bitch, why would you put your lips on me?"
Oh.
And she just melted. She was like,
Yeah.
it's coming. It was just, and I'm looking at her like, no, he did not.
Yeah.
She took the records, dropped them on the ground, stomped on them, right in front of him.
That's where the
And
term "don't meet your heroes" comes from sometimes.
I was so hurt.
It's so
I couldn't
sad.
believe it. And then right after she stomped the records and CDs and stuff, she said, "I loved you so much, I can't stand your ass now." And she said all of these negative things, and she went to her car and she cried. Right? She didn't even get in the car. She just put her head on the car and cried. And I'm looking at my boy who brought me to this situation like, is this real? Is this really happening? And I felt bad.
Yeah.
I went over there. So like, I apologize. I'm sorry. She was like, I really truly love this guy. And I can't believe he said that to me. And he literally said, why would you he's called her a bitch and was like, why would you kiss me, put your lips on me, don't touch me and all of this shit. I couldn't believe that. So
Yeah, it's terrible.
I spent 5 minutes encouraging this lady to get back in her car, go home, the whole thing, and just forget the whole thing. And I felt bad. So I got back on the bus. And when I got back on the bus, my boy was like, you see what I'm talking about? He just pointed it out. You see what I'm talking about? So the actual artist was like, okay, let me hear your beats. Man, I took my beats. I said, I'm done. I don't want to work with you. I have nothing else to say. And I got off the bus and went to my car.
That's
There
awesome.
you go. There you
I
go.
was done. And I always wanted to work with this guy. I lost so much respect for him. I was out. And I never listened to any more of his music. I'm sure whatever she was feeling, she stopped the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's what artists
amazing,
don't realize is, like Chris said a second ago, sometimes that's that person's whole life. How many people have you met who are only, like he said, a Justin Bieber fan or a Tupac fan or an Elvis fan, or like that's their whole life. They love those people. They have their posters. They have all their albums. They go to all their concerts. They wear their merchandise, Then for you to act like they are a peasant and you're some kind of king.
Oh, guys, if you had been there and you saw that, your heart would have dropped.
I can't accept that from anybody.
I felt so embarrassed being there with them.
I would have felt the same way for sure.
Yeah.
Than I
would
ever
have,
felt like I got to get out of here. This is not cool for me. And nobody went to check on this girl. All security did. Everybody was just nobody. So I ran over there. Like, no, I can't believe. And I'm Pat, are you okay? And I'm asking her, and I'm apologizing for his actions.
Right.
That's how bad I felt. I was like, I'm out of this. No more. That was probably the beginning of me saying that I was done in, coming to the forefront of me quitting.
Yeah, because everybody's human, man. That's the thing. It doesn't that now. If had he done the opposite thing with that, that would have been another version of a story. that he probably would have continued. Then other people would have heard that story. You know what I mean? And it's you flip the coin.
Yeah, Lemoyne would be telling a 180
Right.
degree different story.
Right.
He'd be saying, "This guy's this
and
guy's."
all the people that was there was myself, the artist, the guy who brought me in security.
Right. Right.
See, then you
So-
would be naming the guy, and you would be saying,
Right.
"Hey, let me tell you what such
Praising
and such
him,
did.
lifting him
We
up.
had
Yep.
a minute and 45 seconds to get on the bus to make sure
Yeah.
we were on time for the next show, and this guy
Right.
literally stopped for 5 minutes and signed all this lady's you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then you would be telling literally a 180 degree different story.
Exactly.
That's all it took was 5 minutes of his day.
Yep.
And he didn't even after that situation happened with the first girl, she was the last girl because he walked
Mhm.
away. There was other fans there.
Oh, sure.
He walked away from all of them to walk straight on the bus.
Yep. Yep. And it comes back. People don't think that shit comes around. It comes around. You hear stories about, artists and musicians and actors and that are just pieces of shit, and it comes back to them and it burns them in the ass. And then you have people like Keanu Reeves. There's not a negative thing said about him. Why? Because he's a gracious human, respects the fact that he has the life that he has, and he knows the life he has is because everybody around him helped him create that life.
I respect him more as a human being more than his craft. That's how
Absolutely.
Me too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There needs to
His
be more Keanu Reeves in
humanity
our world.
Speaks out more to me than his
Yep.
movies.
Yep.
Exactly.
And
Couldn't
that's
agree
how
with
I
that
want to
more.
be. That's why I'm the way that I am with my fans.
Agreed.
And I make music for my fans.
Yep.
My music is for therapy for everybody.
Absolutely,
Whatever
man.
they're going through. If I can
Yep.
have some kind of impact on my fans' lives
Yep.
with my music, then that's a blessing to me.
If somebody likes something that I recorded and I hear that compliment, that I always blow them away by saying, I'd love it as much as you do, so thanks,
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
I love hearing it. Like Chris said, we've played and heard these songs thousands, tens of thousands of times, and every time I hear them, I still love them. I wrote them for that reason, right? They meant something to me, and they still mean something to me to this day.
Yeah. It's our music, and I still rock out to it. I mean, that tells you something, And of all the bands I've been in, the only music that does that for me is Nemesis. There's a couple tracks in the last band I was in that I still really enjoy listening to. But anything Nemesis-wise, because it was such a lightning in the bottle capture, and it's still relevant lyrically in the world we live in today, that it's just, to me, it's just, it is what it is. You create something in a space and time, and you put a timestamp on it. So when that shit like that happens, and it happens more often than not, right? All he had to do was turn to her and say, "Thank you. What can I sign?" Or give her a hug back. Or, "Hey, I can't hang out. I got to go." Kiss her on the forehead. "Thank you very much." You know what I mean? It's just 20 seconds of your time is not going to derail your life.
That's it.
Yep.
That is so true. And I remember there was another time when I was during last year. I think it was right after the ceremony, and this is a true
the Hall
story.
of Fame.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame, and there were remarkable artists there that I performed.
Oh
with.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, go back and research their records that classic records and classic artists that I'm on the same stage with. Shocked the hell out of me. I grew up listening to this, going, "Wow, I can't." Even Frank Stallone was there, so
right on.
he got
That's
an award.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
cool.
and after it was over, I swear, all the same people that loved all of those artists, they all wanted me. They wanted to take pictures with me. They wanted my autograph and everything. And I if I recall, I'll never forget. I was with somebody who was like, "Come on, let's go. And I said, "No, I'm gonna stick it out as long as I can because they're coming to me asking, especially the owner of the place, please don't leave." She kept saying, "Please don't leave," because everybody wanted, and I was like, "No problem," So I took pictures with everybody, all the way until damn near the place closed. And it just made everybody feel good that I was there. When I saw most of the artists who haven't had hits out in a long time skate out of there.
Yeah. It's karma, man.
And it's crazy. I'm like, wow, And
Well,
I
think it's part of being a humble artist too, Lemoyne. I was always fascinated that somebody liked my stuff as much as I do, right?
Yeah.
It humbles you. If you're in the right mindset, when somebody leaves you a social media message and they take the time to make a video of themselves with your song, which
Right.
people do by the thousands, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost hard to keep up with how many people do
Right.
this with his songs.
Right.
They do that because they know you as an artist and they feel
Mm-hmm.
close to you because you're humble, right?
Yep.
You can't
Yep.
fake that.
Mm-mm. No, you just
It's a-
know.
it's
You
a-
can know.
It's a
You know.
tremendous. It's
Yep.
such a remarkable feeling to know
Mm-hmm.
the adulation you get and the what people get from your
Mm-hmm.
music, what you contribute to their lives. Because you hit
Yep.
it right earlier. You
Yeah.
said
The
I create
soundtrack of the
music
life.
for the soundtrack of their lives. Well,
Yep.
technically, I was creating the music, the soundtrack for my life,
Right.
which is a part of everybody else's life
Mhm.
because I'm human just like everybody else, and I go through problems and I've had issues
Mhm.
just like everybody else. So I said, well, why not sing about it?
Yep.
You know, whatever I'm going through, I'm sure somebody else is going through.
Which
the
is
same
what
thing.
makes music the true magic on this planet, because what we've been talking about over and over again in this podcast, a repeating theme, is you both write lyrics that mean something to you that end up meaning something to maybe, let's say, 25 million other people,
Mhm.
12 million other ways, right?
Yeah.
Because a
Yeah.
lot of people are going to interpret it the way you did, the way I did, but
Mhm.
you're going to have a handful of people who are going to interpret it in ways you would never even have imagined.
Right.
Yeah. That's
It
so
just
true.
makes music such a magical thing.
That's the
Yeah.
whole thing right there. All right, let's
Amazing.
wrap this up. So Lemoyne Alexander, they can find you all kinds of social media, right?
Yes.
Just go ahead and look up Lemoyne Alexander on Facebook. Look him up on Instagram. You can find him. There's his number. So yeah, it's so because it's an Arizona-based number. Tucson, is that where
Yeah.
you're from? Okay.
Yeah. No,
No.
I'm really from Chicago, but when I
Okay.
was married, I kept the
Okay.
same name when I was
Okay.
living in
Gotcha.
Arizona, so I kept
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
number. So
All right, cool. Yeah, so what is your website? Well,
no, it's
WeLemoyneAlexander.com.
LemoyneAlexanderFanpage.com.
Okay, because this one has WeLemoyne
We
Alexander.com.
Lemoyne. That's the
Okay.
like the Wicked Entertainment LemoyneAlexander.com.
Okay.
But
All right. Oh, okay,
that's
gotcha.
what-
That makes sense now. Okay.
yeah.
Right on.
So
Right on.
I will be performing New Year's in Chicago. Everyone
Okay.
is welcome to come.
Okay.
It's gonna be a huge sensation party. Yeah, and as I said, we're going to give away a lot of giveaways and
Cool.
and there are other guests, surprise guests that's going to be there too. So
Cool. That's
hope to
awesome,
see
man.
everybody there.
Yeah, all right on. For Lemoyne Alexander, Mike, and Chris, it's Chris and Mike. So remember, if you're feeling suicidal, depressed, go scream in a pillow, go outside and run, go jog, go work out. Find somebody to talk to. If you can't find somebody to talk to, text 988. Somebody's there waiting to help you through your struggles. Don't leave a hole in somebody's heart. Somebody does love you. Somebody will miss you. You are loved and cared for. Tomorrow will be a better day because you wake up in it. So, again, for Chris and Mike, Lemoyne Alexander, I love you guys. This has been great
Love
talking
you
to
too,
you
brother.
again.
Thanks
And,
for doing this, Lemoyne.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'll see you with
Absolutely,
the
man.
next time.
Yeah,
the next
yeah,
single.
we're gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
you on again. We're gonna have you on again for sure. Until next time, everybody. Peace.
Okay,
Peace.
peace.
Quickly, we're gonna fly